Johnny Dumbbell. What's good, fam? How you doing this evening, sir?
Oh man, pretty good, pretty good. I was about to fight your AI interpretation of what our show description was earlier, but me and the artificial intelligence, we hashed it out. We're good.
Bro, here's the thing.
That was funny though.
Okay, the Chat GPT has a GPT called Monday, and it warns you that you may not like Monday. Monday may not like you. And Johnny, you know that I'm a naturally confrontational person.
And I'm not for everybody.
Hey, well, so I'm like, all right, let's see what you got. Monday tears me up, man. I'm telling you, Monday
got Bill crying in the shower now.
So Monday GPT, we're going to start using Monday GPT as part of the show, Johnny. I don't think we'll necessarily do it on the Monday show, but we're definitely going to incorporate it on our Thursday night show with the Bumble dating profiles. We're gonna let Monday GPT analyze some of the ladies. But hey, that's another show. That's another day, sir. It's Ask Your Favorite Uncles tonight.
It is.
And we're here for one reason and one reason only, Johnny, because our nephews need us. And we're here to answer their questions, give them the game. And I got to tell you, nephews, there's going to be some tough love involved. You're not going to like what we have to say, but I guarantee you need to hear it. And this is advice that your mom, your friends, they're not going to have for you. So we have a call-in number. You can call in, ask us your questions live. You can put them in the chat. Another way we like to do it is Johnny gets different emails, and you guys can send me your questions too. I'll make sure Johnny gets them. We're always putting all of our socials in the description. There are ways for you guys to reach out to us. So we allow you to ask any question you need answered on the condition that we are putting it up for the class for everyone else to learn from. Because nephews, I'm telling you, there's a lot of you that have the same questions. So the question that you have is actually going to benefit a lot of young men out there. So don't be afraid to ask your questions. We got you. Hey, Johnny, I think your mic is muted. Do you want to go ahead and
there we go.
There you go, sir. I'll go ahead and introduce yourself, Johnny.
It sure was. I'm Johnny Dumbbell. I'm a personal trainer and life coach out here in beautiful Pittsburgh, PA. So one of the things that I'm here to do is to show you what has worked for me and most of all, what has not worked for me. That's right. I'm here to talk to you about probably more about my failures than my successes. That way you younger men, or hey, maybe even men my age and older, sometimes we're a late bloomer, you don't make the same mistakes that I did when it comes to self-respect, self-confidence, love and romance, women and dating, personal growth. And by that, I mean physical, mental, and spiritual, whether you're in recovery or you're on your way up. One thing I will give you is the very disclaimer, young men, love and romance, and especially the drive for a certain activity, does tend to warp your mind. So if you are thinking of something, and if you were able to step outside yourself and realize that what you are thinking of doing sounds foolish, stupid, reckless, ridiculously expensive, talk to us first. Leave something in the comments. Shoot one of us a message before you do it. Chances are one of us have done it and learned the hard way why you don't do that. And as a special feature tonight, Uncle Bill, I don't know if you knew this, but somebody in our audience finally did just that. He is just thinking about it. He wanted to write us first. He hasn't done it. He has time to do it if we think it's a good idea. So he messaged me at exactly the right time. And first of all, before I even mention his name or even read the first line of his question, I just want to I want to give you that shout out for having the courage and the patience and the moxie to hold off on those feelings until you got some good advice from your uncles here. We love you. All right, let's do this.
Appreciate you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, what are we working with here, Johnny?
So that's going to be our main event question. So we're going to start with a couple of warm-ups here because, Bill and I, we haven't been able to do the Thursday show lately, so we're a little rusty. So we're going to go ahead and pick up where we left off last week.
Hey, we're doing a Thursday show this week, Johnny. Hey, I got something big I'm working on for my channel, and it's taking a lot of my time and energy because I'm putting a lot of effort into it. It's important to me that I make it right. And I'm putting a positive spin on things, Johnny. And you know what? we'll get there. I should have it done hopefully in the next week, but I am working on something big for my channel. So
hey, we'll get there.
To me.
We'll get there.
All right, what do we got tonight, sir?
All right, so we got one from Paul here. And Paul is he's 28. He's dating a girl a couple years younger than him. He says she is starting to get a little bit controlling. What needs to happen now? Now, we can go ahead and preemptively answer the question, but that wouldn't be fun. We need details, right?
We need details.
My girlfriend and I have been going out for the past 3 years. We've had a great relationship and have had some great times together. Recently, I arranged a night out with my friends whom I haven't seen in quite a few weeks. This has annoyed her, and she has even admitted that. She's even mentioned that she can't trust me when I'm out, despite her when I'm out without her, despite the fact that I show her so much love, so much care, and so much attention. I find this quite controlling behavior over the past week, and I'm starting to see so many red flags that I haven't seen before. It may be time to move along and call it a day. That is the smartest thing you said the entire message. You waited until the last sentence to tell us that, Paul.
Okay. Now, Johnny, there is a difference between a woman being controlling and a woman being clingy. Okay. If she's being controlling, he definitely needs to set some boundaries and look at the reason why she's acting like that. She says she can't trust him. Is this young man doing things that are disrespectful? Is he not following through on his word? Is he giving her a reason to not trust him? Or is this something that's more along the lines of her own insecurities and scenarios and that she's playing through her head with her own anxiety and she's projecting onto him? I would need some specific examples of what this controlling behavior is. But
or does it go deeper than that? Or is it she's projecting onto him because maybe she's doing something she shouldn't be doing? I mean, I'm not saying she is. I'm saying that's yet another possibility.
Well, here's the thing. You know, this guy that I actually respect a lot, his name's Johnny Dumbbell. He talks about bottom lining her actions. So we got to kind of look at the bottom line of this jealousy here. Now, you should be able to go out with your friends. Okay. You should be able to go out and have a good time any night of the week that you want. Now, does it say if they're cohabitating?
It does not.
It does not, because
I feel like, and from the way he words things, I feel like if they were, he would mention that, but I'm not sure. It doesn't say whether they do or not. But I think,
it's going to make it easier for him to move on and get away from her if they're not cohabitating.
Absolutely.
But if they are, they should have a little more trust there that he is going to be coming home to her no matter what. So this whole I can't trust you. I mean, like I said, unless he's doing some disrespectful thing, unless he's cheating, unless he's lying, you know, if she's caught him lying, she's not going to.
Here's a question that I would have, and I wish he would have included this in there. Is I would like to know, does she have friends that she hangs out with regularly, semi-regularly? And the reason I say that is because and I've seen this on both sides of the gender fence here, is that if the person you are dating doesn't seem to have a whole lot of friends that they hang out with, a whole lot of hobbies that they hang out with, you know, a whole lot of things that they do rather. First of all, why? Why does no one else hang out with this person? You know, second of all, even if you didn't question that, that means that this person has that much more time and energy to pour into you, and that will drain you if that is not the type of person that you are as well. And I think that's kind of what this is sounding like here.
And we see that so often. They're just not compatible, but they don't know it. And they have these feelings and attachments and emotions for each other. And it's so hard to say goodbye and to let go of that. And I understand that. I sympathize with you. But I know firsthand what a motivator heartbreak can be. Yeah. So you're going to be upset that it didn't work out, but you got to do what's best for you, sir. I think you need to move on here. And if she really puts some work into herself and she can work on her own issues and anxiety and insecurities, maybe you could revisit it down the road. if you haven't done disrespectful stuff like lie to her, cheat on her, you know, she's
I
never
feel
gonna
like
but I understand we don't know the finer details,
I
but
feel like that would be like walking back into a prison cell as long as they promise not to shut the door.
what you don't
That's
think
kind of how that sounded to me years
so
ago.
you
You
don't
know,
think
look,
the
I know you
difference
meant well
between
by that, but that
growth
sounds like
with therapy and counseling and new experiences
in a lobotomy.
and psychotherapy medication.
Ooh.
All right, but my point is that yeah, it's probably best for him to move on in this
You'll be known
scenario.
as the Prozac couple every time you enter the bar. You know, we're not going to be able to use that in the clip. That's too funny, though.
Oh, I will. I don't care
Yeah,
if I get
screw it. I'm doing
12
it too. I don't
views
care.
on the clip on my channel. Hey, you know what? Hey,
You hear that,
YouTube
you
makes me
algorithm
do that
spirits?
sometime. I hate to speak bad on the algorithm. It's all positivity here. It's all love. I love
And we
YouTube.
got a sense of humor about it. We laugh at ourselves.
But there are times where we put really good information out into the universe and nobody sees it. And it's my fault because so much of my personality comes
Potty
through.
mouth over here.
Hey, I make some of the wildest shorts on YouTube, Johnny. Some of the clips I use, some of the I'm telling you, we're gonna blow up, man. It's just a
So,
matter of time.
I'm glad for anybody watching. I really am. I'm really happy to get these questions, though. I mean, that's one of the things that's really nice about that. Now, the one thing he does seem to emphasize is that he shows her so much love and so much attention. And okay, that's fine. But here's the thing: is she taking that as a sign of weakness and is now trying to use the "I think you might be cheating" thing as yet another handle of control to try to grasp on you? Because remember, this is going to be kind of an attention move versus a power move on her part. And both of those sides are struggling within her. So that's what I think's happening, at least to a certain degree. Um, but yeah, I mean, it seems like when you do get to go out, or I mean, it doesn't even have to be go out. And as soon as you get to hang with your friends, you're getting that attitude when you get home. You are getting that attitude for a couple of days in a row. I hope not, but that's if it's not there yet, it typically does grow that direction. Unless you nip it in the bud, and that's only going to be able to happen one of two ways. And one of them is a heck of a lot easier, especially as young as you are.
Okay, but yeah, don't you think that he should at least check her first before he calls it a day?
I
Check
think
this
he's already
woman's
tried to do that,
behavior
and they've
and
already had countless.
let
I
her
feel like
know
they've
that
had
it is
countless arguments already.
unacceptable. So you're saying, because I'm thinking he's never checked her. I'm thinking he doesn't even know
Maybe.
how to check a woman properly,
Maybe.
respectfully. Okay. And when I say check her, what I really mean is give her notice of what your boundaries are.
Yep.
That you're going outside of the realm of what I'm comfortable with, and I'm not okay with this. If it continues, I'm going to have to address it in a more serious manner. So you
Yeah,
don't
I
think
kind of like the whole next conversation about this that we have is going to be a different type. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think that, you know, he should, because look, it's our job as men to lead women. We need to provide leadership, and maybe he's not doing that effectively.
Well, here's the
So
thing about that, though, too. If he says that to her, and gentlemen, I want you to treat that like utilizing I don't know how to say it without the algorithm, tool of war for the brain. If you're not, my God, that took a lot out of me trying to think of that. But what I'm trying to say is, like, if you are going to use that, if you're going to say that, you had better be ready to use it. In other words, if you are going to tell her this is not going to continue, the next time we have this conversation, one of us is leaving. You had better be ready to mean that, because the minute you do that, and then she does it again, because she may or may not do that. It depends on whether or not she respects your strength. If you do that and she does it again and you don't leave, you don't make major life altering changes here, guess what? Now your word don't mean nothing to her. So now
right.
not only does she have carte blanche to continue disrespecting you, but she also knows that you won't even stand up for yourself, let alone up to her.
Yeah. Everybody wants to be a man, so it's time to be one. Nephews, we are talking about standing on business, saying what you mean, meaning what you say, following through with the things that you say. It's all part of manhood. It's all part of your principles, your standard for how you will allow people to treat you. Nephews,
Absolutely.
you got to train people how to treat you. And sometimes you just got to walk away from people and get them out of your life if they're going to disrespect you. Now, I
That's
really
right, Uncle
think you
Bill. And
should I really think you should try to check this woman first and enforce your boundaries, because maybe you didn't do that at the very beginning.
Uncle
So,
Bill. And the truth of the matter is, though, is if he doesn't do that, he's already been checked himself. He's already seen where
Johnny, that's a really good point, man.
I mean, at this
So,
point, I think it's not really a matter of folding to her will. He's already expressed that he doesn't want to do that. But I think what he's expressing mostly is this is tiring for him. It sounds to me like he has to really go through a lot of work to keep from working. So he can be around his buddies, relax, scratch your you know.
enjoy
I mean, and
himself.
yeah, and that's just it. I don't know if it's a matter of she doesn't want him to want something or need something more than her, or if it's a matter of she's projecting the kinds of things she knows she does when she's with her friends and just imagining him doing the same. I've seen both sides of that.
Well, you made a good point when you said something about, does she have friends or does she not have friends?
Right.
Because if she doesn't have any friends and he is her only contact, communication, if he's her only friend, she's gonna be more likely to be jealous about him spending time with anyone else, because that should be time and attention he should be giving her. However, if she has a bunch of friends, you tell that woman to go out with her friends and leave you alone for the evening. You'll see her later that night. You'll see her tomorrow. You will make time for her. But you really got to do that. If you're going to
Yeah,
make time to go out with your friends, you need to make time to go out with your woman too. Or
sure.
why is she your woman? So,
Right.
I'd say
We're talking about a companion, not a placeholder. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, see, and I say that too because here's the thing: every woman I have ever dated has that did not have a bunch of girlfriends. Now, I've dated a lot of girls that did have a lot of female friends, but the girls that I dated that didn't seem to have any friends at all to hang out with, two things they have in common. Number one, they were crazy, and number two, I didn't see it coming. And so that's the whole thing. I mean, and it's not necessarily. I don't want to say that they're crazy, but what it ends up amounting to is, like I said earlier, when there are fewer other personal relationships surrounding them, that means that the few that they have are concentrated and they're more centric and they're more intense. You know, at least from her direction to that person's. And if you're that significant other, guess what, Jack? You're getting the gamma rays off of her. Because she doesn't have a surrounding support system of friends. If she's not close with her family, if she's not close with her siblings, um if she's not even close with, I mean, I don't care if she's close with her cousins. If there's nobody she's close with outside of you, that's not a yellow flag, brother. That is a red flag. And I'm not saying run, but I mean, maybe walk a little faster.
well, the problem is, Johnny, we often overlook these red flags, these behaviors in favor of a woman's looks. Oh, she's
Oh man.
pretty. She's fine. She's bad.
Oh,
So I get it. I've been with a lot of bad women. I'm telling you, gentlemen, it's not all
in more
cracked
ways
up.
than one.
Look, you got to read the fine print. Okay, there's
He's too
things that
busy
come
reading her finer. And
All
I
right,
understand that, guys. I'm not knocking you, man. I'm not saying I was any better because believe me, I wasn't. That's why we're here telling you not to do what we did.
all right, Johnny. What else we got tonight? We got any more? You got anything else for
All
this
right,
young
so we've
man?
got.
I appreciate his question. I really do. It's all love and
I
respect.
think I think at this stage, maybe it's good to go with Uncle Bill in this one. I would say maybe have that conversation with her and say, listen, I understand how you feel about this. Why don't we air out what your concerns are? I'll air out my concerns are, but understand that my friends are part of my life, and so I'm not going to just not see them. But it might be a good idea maybe meet me somewhere in the middle when it comes to, splitting my time between you and them. Because guess what? Spending time with your friends, Paul, spending time with your boys, that does rejuvenate you. That does add a little bit of energy, left to you. That's something only your homeboys can do for you. Okay. But make sure you do that, because guess what? You're going to be happier. You're going to be more energetic. And whether she realizes it now or not, the result of that is a happier you is going to result in a happier her. Maybe she'll make a couple friends if she doesn't already. I mean, he didn't say. I'm just saying.
So we're going with, he needs to have the last chance agreement talk with her.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to say, look, we're going to have to find a way to navigate this, or we're going to find our way to cut ties, because this is not going to be a destination on either decision. It's not like they're going to make one decision or the other, and then boom, starting at midnight tonight, it's effective, and it's just going to be consistently the way it is anymore. Yeah, even the legal system can't do that. But what I'm saying, especially the legal system, but I mean, what I'm saying here is that when you have that conversation, it needs to be conveyed that this is not something that can be a permanent, ongoing, cyclical thing. This is going to have to be something that I'm going to have to be able to enjoy my life while remaining within the comfort zone of our relationship. And you are going to have to be able to compromise and do the same, because if not, we are not the same kind of people. You're the introvert who likes to stay home. Hey, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But it sounds like my friend here is dying for a night out with his boys. And whatever that might mean. I mean, most of us guys just sit around a fire pit drinking beer at this point. But
yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, the conversation has to happen.
Put her on notice that you are not happy with her performance and you will replace her, and there are plenty of applicants for the job.
Or not replace her. There's nothing wrong with walking away from being in a relationship for a while you get yourself straight, man. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so Paul, good luck to you, brother. Thank you so much for writing in, and we'll be in touch, man. I'll follow up with you via email. All right, so we got Larry. And Larry, oh, man. I forgot about poor Larry. I didn't forget about you, Larry. I'd never forget about you.
Is that TK's boy, Larry?
No. Thankfully, no.
All right.
No. So he says, why am I still waiting for her? Why indeed, Larry? Well, it's been almost a year. Why am I still hoping for her to return? She made it clear she doesn't care about me and that she's moved on, found someone else that she loves a lot, and blocked me every place imaginable. Why can I not just accept it and move on? What am I clinging to? Am I afraid to be alone? Is it the highs of time together? Is it just the idea of her? It's only I who can answer those questions, but I simply cannot figure that out. I think I'm going insane, or I may be just lost. Larry, I'm going to say all of the above, my friend. This chick's living rent-free in your head, and if she's moved on and been with somebody else, she may have forgotten at least your middle name.
Larry, man. Okay. I know
this
what's
is
going
sad.
on.
I mean, this makes me sad.
Johnny,
Larry, you're not sad. It makes me sad.
John, here's the thing. I know what's going on here. This guy is in love with the idea of who this woman could have been to him.
Worse than that, he's in love with the memory of what she used to be. Clearly no longer is, or she'd still be around.
Well, here's the thing. She's been gone for a year. So he should have had plenty of time to emotionally detox, process the situation, and move on. The fact that he's clinging to it tells me, well, he's insecure about a few different things. A year later, listen, I am trying to behave myself. I don't roast this young man. I appreciate his comments.
Yeah.
But you're telling me you've been waiting for a woman to come back for a year? And she's moved on and she's been with someone else.
Or a few someone else's.
Probably.
And I know that feels kind of like, but. Yeah. And yes, both of those were necessary because it is game over, my friend.
It's game
over. At least with her. At least with her. Remember, there's hope for you. Is there hope for her? What do you care? We're worried about you, Larry.
Okay, well, I know this ancient Roman philosopher. His name was Jonius Dumbellius, and he used to say, "We do not recycle women." So even if
The,
she did show up at your door, Larry, you're not supposed to let her in. You're not. And why would you even want to at this point? If she came back, it would be to use you as her doormat. She
yep.
would. Come on, man. I need you to have a little more respect for yourself, nephew, and tell me why you can't move on and find a woman who's going to treat you better than that one ever did.
I do think that it's got a little bit to do with his level of self-respect, but I also think that it's going to have a lot to do with how deep in his feelings he is. But I would
That's
actually
how I
recommend for you,
feel.
Larry. I would sit there and go into your phone's notepad or write it. I don't know because I know people don't use pen and paper anymore. But I want you to type out, text out, write down if you still know how to do that. The top 5 things about her that not only do you like, but would actually make your life better if it was present right now.
Yeah,
If
I
you
gotta.
even can now listen, if you at this point a year later, if you can even think of 5, I'll write you a free workout.
And I would rather you write 5 things you like about yourself.
Bingo. Yep.
Oh, I wouldn't waste another thought on that woman who is definitely not thinking about you. Because,
I realize you weren't done.
man, when women are into you, you cannot keep them away from you. They will find a way to put themselves in your orbit. You're going to run into them at places you go to accidentally. You know, they will find, women will find a way. If this woman wanted you at all, you wouldn't be able to stop her from it, bro. So the fact that she's not reaching out, the fact that you're blocked on everything that you can be blocked on says
Yep.
enough. Why don't you find a woman who will respect you? Why don't you find a woman who will make you happy, who won't break your heart like that, sir? Come on. I need you
But
to
you know
do better,
some
nephew.
I think that's a great idea, Uncle Bill, but you know what he needs to do first? I think he needs to learn to find a way or at least a reason to respect himself. I want him to be able to look in the mirror and realize that he likes that guy and he wants him to do well. And I think that it doesn't have to be anything related to fitness. Doesn't have to be anything related to weightlifting. But if you want to try that out, I'll issue you the Johnny Dumbbell Get Off Your Ass Challenge. I want you to get to the gym 3 times a week for 4 weeks. After the 4th week, I want you to add an extra day and get to the gym 4 times a week for 4 more weeks. And if you do that, I want you to comment below. Let me know how that went out, how that worked out for you.
Okay, so what this does is this is going to create self-discipline
Correct.
by going to the gym, by seeing the results, by watching the efforts you put into it. It's going to create self-discipline. Through this self-discipline, you're going to learn a new form of self-respect. Now, I know this is going to blow your mind, nephew, but once you learn self-respect, you now learn self-confidence. And once you're a confident man, well, the world is yours. So I would
If you
say
want it.
take that first step, do the Johnny Dumbbell Get Off Your Ass challenge, and then come back in a month and let us know how that's working out for you. I
And then come
really
back
hope
a
to
month
hear.
after that and let us know too.
Look, like I said, it's all love here, and I want the best for you. But if you're going to sit here and tell me that you're waiting on a woman that left you a year ago to come back, I can't respect you, nephew. That's some sucker shit. You're going to have to get out the car, bro. You can't
Well,
ride with us if that, I'm just saying.
and I think on a deeper level, what he's trying to say too is if you don't even respect yourself, how do we know what to respect about you? And so that's just it. Once you've earned your own respect, I think you're going to be able to exude that, and then you're going to earn other people's respect, and you're probably going to do it without even realizing it. But that's exactly what respect is, or at least from the receiving end. So, anyhow, we've got any final thoughts on this one, Uncle Bill?
No, my final thought is do the Johnny Dumbbell get off your ass
Yeah.
challenge. Because seriously, without some self-discipline, you're never gonna have self-respect. And without that self-respect, you're never gonna learn self-confidence. And without self-confidence, you might as well just give up. Like, don't even try to date.
And we're
Like,
not even like
I
that.
can't
That
think of a
actually sounded
single
blasphemous to me.
I can't think of a single woman out there that wants to be attracted to a man that has no confidence in himself.
Yeah, that sad persona thing, the emotional thing, that's not really going to that's going to get her to feel bad for you. But here's the problem: someone feeling bad for you does not equate to a biological sexual attraction.
Yeah, it doesn't
It
turn
just
her
doesn't.
on. So, all right, that's all I got for that one, Johnny.
Yeah. All right, Larry. Good luck to you, brother. We'll be in touch. So I've got.
Appreciate you, sir.
Yep.
Much love and respect to you, Larry.
All right. So we got Keith here. Didn't we have a Keith a couple weeks ago? I don't think it's the same guy, but anyway, so he said, and this is actually pretty straightforward, but I think this is a discussion worthy topic. Why do some women say, let's just be friends after a date? When I know that now you know that's not going to be at face value. When I was in the dating scene, it happened a lot. I just took it as a rejection, which is fine. But some of them would get mad if I stopped talking to them, or they would get offended when I went on other dates. Was this some kind of code that I missed? I never understood that. Now, see, that's why I included that question in this, because I can give you a really obvious answer to the first half of that. But the second half of that, there are obvious answers and there are not so obvious levels and different reasons for those answers. And so remember that they're asking you to be friends. And if a woman asks you to just be friends and then she's acting offended when you start dating someone else, Uncle Bill, I'm starting to lose my voice explaining this in the tone of voice that I usually end up explaining it. So would you please just give my vocal cords a break and explain to these young men what that is?
All right, here's the thing, nephews. It comes down to sexual attraction. If she is sexually attracted to you, she doesn't want to put you in the friend zone. You end up in the friend zone when you go from being when she is considering you to you saying some sucker shit that she's losing respect for you. She no longer wants to sleep with you, but she also doesn't want to make you mad, angry, or feel rejected, especially if you're part of a similar friend group. So she's going to try to keep you around in the friend zone. Now, here's where it gets weird, because if she has friend zoned you but is upset with you going out with another woman and not happy for you for doing that, that means she has some kind of agenda for you. There's a reason she's upset. You're spending time and resources on someone other than her. You could be listening to her talk about the guy that she's really into, but you're spending that time with other women. So that's why she's getting jealous and upset about it. Not that she wants to smash you, not that she wants a relationship with you. She just has an agenda for you that you are no longer complying with because you're following your own agenda.
Yeah, either because you have a girlfriend at this point that you're not going to, betray by doing favors for another girl that her boyfriend should be doing, and B, you're not succumbing to somebody's, whims and wily charms to give her something that you're willing to sacrifice for the sake of what? Being called a great guy?
Yeah, that's a tough one. But here's the thing. Here's what you need to do. You need to learn how to find women that are into you. If they're not looking at you like they're the heart eye emoji, you should not be wasting your time with them. And I get into little discussions and discourses on Facebook about this.
Yeah, he does.
I'm not wasting my time with a woman that's not really into me. She doesn't have a high level of interest in me. If she's not hanging on every word, if I'm not out with her and like her seat's like right next. Because Johnny, I never sit across from a woman. I'm sitting right next to her at a restaurant. When we're out, like we're at a bar or something. And if we are at a bar, I'm pulling that stool a little bit closer to me. But
yeah, I mean, hey, if it's not weird to sit next to her at a bar, it can't be weird to sit next to her at a table, right?
right. But that's just how I like to do things. But
yeah, I mean, and here's the thing, man. Like I say, if she's wanting to keep you around as a friend, and she's also getting upset when you start dating other girls, she knows that one of two things is going to happen. Like I said, either A, you're going to be so engrossed in the new girl you're dating that you're not going to want to do favors for her anymore, or B, your new girlfriend is going to know exactly what her motives are because she's probably done it too at some point in her
and she'll want to
history,
shut that
or
down.
at least she's witnessed it happening to whatever it is. The point is, she's either done it or she's seen it, and she'll shoot that right out of the air. Yep, and that's just it. She knows why she's texting you. She knows why she's asking you to. And honestly, the thing of it is that she's going to be saying, "Listen, I give you all of this in this relationship. She has given you f all. Okay, now what? Do you like her? Do you like me? I'm doing stuff for you. I'm actually the girl that's doing And so either way, she's not going to like when you move forward like that, because now that's one less simp in her pocket.
Hey Johnny, Stacy stopped by tonight and she's saying my
About
favorite
time.
men love y'all. Appreciate that. Love and respect here.
There it is. Thanks, Stacy. All right. So yeah.
All right. So my final thoughts on this is you need to learn how to. Okay, something I learned from Johnny Dumbbell back in 2008 is how to gauge indicators of interest from women. I don't want to waste my time with women who aren't trying to do the same thing that I'm trying to do. So that comes down to a compatibility issue. And there's lots of different levels of compatibility. But my point is, when you learn how to spot the women that are into you, you will also learn how to not waste your time with the women who are not into you. And that's the problem you're having right now, nephew. You are wasting time with women who are not that into you. So I would say get with Johnny for a little bit of coaching, and he'll have you on point within a week or two.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We're going to cut through the shit, and you're going to hear a couple things you don't like. But you know what? The thing of it is, whatever it is you don't like hearing, I don't like saying. But we're going to fix that.
All right. Well, that's all I got for him.
Yeah. So all right. So we've got.
We got one more question tonight.
We do. Let me see what we got here. Oh yes, our main event.
All right, hold on. Stacy says, if we are silent, we are not interested. Nibbles keeping you just in case. Hey, I love it, Johnny, when the ladies come on here.
That's the breadcrumb.
I love that. Thank you so much for putting these young men on, Stacy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, honestly, and it's nice to see that you're, I mean, because it goes to show that this is not some huge conspiracy theory that a bunch of, middle-aged guys have. No, we've lived the life. We've experienced it. And not only that, but when the ladies actually do finally level with us, they're spitting the truth. Just like Stacey here.
Brandy said she agrees with Stacy.
Hey, that's great. We all do. Love you, Stace. All right, so
Thank you, ladies. Appreciate the comments tonight.
Now, ladies, I'm going to need you to stick around at least for this question, because I want to see a discussion about this in the comments. Because for once, one of our nephews reached out to us before he decided to do something foolish. And I got to say, this is great. This is the opportunity that I've been waiting for on this show for a very, very, very long time.
I was going to say, this is what we talk about.
Subject line of this email: thinking of texting a girl this. To us, I just want you to know, to us, that sounds like hold my beer. Okay? Nothing good happens after that. For context, she lives about 2 hours away, but we've been on 3 dates, and I feel like there's something there. Now, here's what he is thinking of texting her. This is in quotes. Hey, I know I mentioned this a bit last night, but I've really enjoyed my time with you. I'm feeling something with you that I haven't felt with many people. I know the distance might be a bit of a hurdle, but honestly, I think it could end up being something that benefits us in the long run. I'm not trying to make this overly deep, especially over text. I just wanted you to know where my head's at and what my intentions are. End quote.
She's probably so bored from reading that
Right.
message.
Okay.
I don't even know if she got all the way through it. So what's up, nephew? Why are you sending boring messages to women? That's my
Well,
first question. No, you should be
I don't even
texting
care about
things to incite her and intrigue her and have her looking forward to your next visit. That's something you can talk about when you're face to face, how you feel about stuff.
yeah.
What do you think? Am I wrong about that, Johnny?
No, like it's like I say. I mean,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
you know,
Hey,
that's
Stacy, look, and Stacy's co-signing it. Yes, she's bored. You're sending boring messages to women, and okay.
well.
It's
To
good
be
thing
fair,
that
though,
you-
now here's the thing. I wish he would have included. I wish he would have included more information about the nature of their conversation. I wish that I could have read what indicators of interest or potential disinterest she may or may not have shown. There's really see without the mention of that, I really don't get the full context of what happened or what didn't happen. But what I can tell you, what I can tell you is I would definitely make a very watered down number one and less wordy number two version of that text message. And I would definitely not. Here's the thing: you even mentioned that you were trying to not make this overly deep, but to me, that text message sounds overly deep. And I think that's great. And I think it's wonderful you know how to articulate your feelings. And believe me, later on in the long run, if this thing works out with her, you're going to need that skill. But after 3 dates, I wouldn't go that route. I really wouldn't go that route. I wouldn't go that route in the first 3 months.
Hey, Stacy says he sounds like a bitch, not a leader.
Well,
Keeping it a
I mean,
buck.
remember, he's young. No, I won't say that. I mean, I think he's young. I think he's, trying out his wings in this world. And, and the important thing is, here's the greatest part. He hasn't done this.
Right.
He
So
hasn't sent the message. So
here,
remember, you can't
we're gonna
unthrow the rock that
need
broke
you
the
to
window.
delete. We're going to need you to delete all of that. All right. So what's the purpose of sending this message? Okay, because right now at this stage in your relationship, you should just be setting up the next time you're going to see each other.
Judging by the last sentence, after 3 dates, he is telling her where his head's at, exactly what he's thinking, and exactly what his intentions are. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's great that you had the generosity to be that upfront, but remember that while we guys kind of like women that are a little more predictable, women like the exact opposite. And you are not doing that. You are basically telling her, here's how I plan to lay out our future, baby. And I mean, look, I'm not mocking you, man. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like that. But what I'm trying to tell you is you're giving her the kind of vibe of, hey, whatever you want, I'll get it. And if I can't, I'll bend over a little further backwards to get it. And if I can't, I'll get back. And look, on paper, that looks and reads well. In real life, it is V repellent. Sorry.
Okay. So they've had a couple dates. I'm guessing he hasn't smashed yet. And that's probably why he's trying to lay the groundwork for
Yeah.
a bond and connection. He's probably trying to smash. Now,
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Yeah, I think he's trying to kind of
ways to go about that. So I would say be more forward and direct about it while she's in your presence. Because here's the thing, you don't want to come off creepy, but you should always be flirtatious and playful when you're around her. She should not be able to help herself. Like, she should have to exude self-control over her own behaviors in your presence.
That's right, Uncle Bill. You're
policing herself, and to some extent, you're not doing it right. Okay, like, because women have these rules, and Johnny, what do we say all the time? That they will break their own rules when you give them a reason to.
Yeah, I mean, the thing of it is, attraction is always going to supersede any rules that she has. And that's going to, especially in the modern time. The thing you guys got to understand is if she is already telling you she's going to be a good girl, or she has rules that she doesn't do this on this date, or she doesn't do that on that date, the minute she is sexually, biologically attracted to you, and remember, I like to use this term, uncontrollably attracted to you. If that happens, she won't care if it's the first time she met you. It depends on the.
Stacy's saying she's getting LDE from this. Some of that.
They all say that when they don't like what they all say that when they don't like your opinion.
Well, she's sensing insecurities, and I am too.
I'm just kidding. I get what she.
Yeah,
no, I get what she's saying though.
About where their relationship is.
No, I know. I'm just messing with you.
So, yeah, I think he's trying to relationship Mac. Okay, and I see a lot of young guys. Okay, they want to smash, so they feel like they need to get into a relationship to do that. Okay, and that's because women put out this myth that they got to get to know you. And
yeah, if we put it in NFL terms,
and I'm not knocking them for that.
No, not at all.
It's a self-defense thing to get rid of all the creepy guys that are always coming at them. So, and the kind of sort guys they may be interested in. I get that.
And why does it turn her off? Because in NFL terms, this is the preseason to love bombing.
Yeah. So she's probably planning on friend zoning him, honestly. She's probably glad that he's 2 hours away. She's probably going to start making herself unavailable. She's going to be busy. She's going to cancel at the last minute.
Well, here's the thing I wonder. Did he drive all the way to her? Did they meet somewhere? Because if he went to her all 3 times,
bro drove to her.
now that's 4, 8, 12 hours of driving, not to mention the money spent. And look, I'm not saying that means he's entitled to anything. What I'm trying to say is if you have been the driver, if you've gone out 2 hours to meet this girl, you've been on 3 dates, and let's say it was just dinner and a peck on the cheek all 3 times, hey, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you that if it hasn't progressed further than the dinner and the peck on the cheek, you're not him. She's not her.
The first date you shouldn't be smashing because that woman hasn't done anything to deserve D yet. Now, if you're going to have just a casual relationship with her, she needs to know the term of that right up front, that, hey, this is all I want. This is all we're going to do is smash. And then I'll hear from you again when you need me to smash you again. But he wants to get in a relationship with her. And okay, first of all, bro, you got to take your emotions out of it. So delete the whole entire text. I want you instead to send her a message about the next time you guys to get together. Okay? Because you got your uncles here. So you know what we're going to do?
You've been waiting for this all night, folks. I know you wanted to hear him say it. I did too.
We're gonna get him laid. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get him the girl. Okay, so all right, I need to know a few things. You said they've been on 3 dates. Are there any information about where they went, what they did? Because he dropped the ball at some point. If she was willing to let him,
that's why I wish it was.
She had to be initially attracted to him, and he fumbled somewhere. So I'd like for us to kind of go back and see where he dropped the ball, dig him out of the hole, and then we'll get him the girl.
Yeah, I mean,
so
here's the thing. If it was me, I would actually I would delete that whole message, and I would do what text messages are intended to do, and that is to set up the next time the two of you get together. And you know what? After 3 dates, I would say, even after 3 dates, Bill's original first message that he uses on Bumble would probably be the best way to go for the next time the two of you get together. Because here's the thing. After 3 dates, if she really likes you, she's going to find that humorous, and she'll be like, sure, whatever, But I just want you to include only the words that Uncle Bill here tells you. Bill?
Okay. Here's the thing. You don't need to take her out on any more dates, nephew. So I need you to forget that right now. The next thing you're going to do is set up the next time you're going to see her, but it's going to be at her crib or yours. There's going to be some cooking involved because that's going to give you a chance to be intimate and be close with each other in the kitchen, and you're standing behind her and you guys are playful and you pick her up by her ass cheeks and put her on the countertop. And look, we'll get to that. So here's what you need to do. You're going to have to tell her how excited you are to see her, how much you're looking forward to it, and what your expectations are for the next time you get together. Like, hey, now I'm guessing, Johnny, that he's going there. He's going there to see her. He's driving the 2 hours. So it should be something along the lines of, I was thinking I would stop at the store. I want to get a few, because look, women love it when guys cook. When you show off some skills in the kitchen, okay, you tell her that you're going to stop at the store, you're going to get a few things, you're going to come over there, you're going to prepare a meal for her in the house. It's going to set a mood, a certain stage there. It's going to set romantic, intimate. And if you're playful and flirtatious and she's into you, then you should be able to take it from the kitchen to the bedroom without any problems. So,
well, the first thing he's going to have to do is figure out whether or not she wants that night to happen in the first place.
Well, that's what I mean. If he lays his plan out, like, here's what I'm going to do the next time, because they probably already have some kind of something already planned for 2 weeks or next month, or I don't know. I wouldn't drive 2 hours to see a woman. I got to tell you, I mean, a woman to drive 2 hours to see me. I don't think I would have too much of a problem. That would kind of be an indication of how hard she's willing to go for me too. She's willing to drive.
Well, remember one thing, Uncle Bill. This is one of our young nephews.
All right, you're right.
And at his young age, I'm going to be very, very honest with you. I went all the way to Canal Fulton. I went all the way to Catawba Island, Ohio, one time. So look, I'm not perfect, and that's the reason I'm here.
Stacy, you saying you need me to cook something for you sometime? Look, we can talk about that later. All right, Johnny. So, new message about the next time you get together. Now, I don't want to go against what Uncle Johnny's telling you, but I would change it over to audio. I wouldn't send her the same kind of boring text messages that everyone else does. I would start dropping audio messages to her. And okay, if you don't know what you're doing, that could backfire too, because if you sound boring, and it's just going to take all the fun and excitement out of it if you don't know how to be playful in these messages.
Let's meet him in the middle and give him an intermediate class on what maybe we can do here.
All right, so you want him to go to texting?
Look, I don't want him to do anything, but I would, if I was him, I wouldn't text at all. But then again, don't forget, I'm looking in hindsight, and we all know hindsight's 20/20. I'm 45 years old. I'm thinking about what I should have done at 25. I'm telling you what you should be doing right now.
Always.
And at that particular point, if you are going to send her a text message, which I wouldn't, but if you're going to, again, I would actually use Uncle Bill's thing. Make that the most simple text message possible. You, period, me,
period, me, period, a drink, period. Let's make this happen. So,
perfection. And the reason I say that, even after 3 dates, now normally that's Bill's opening line when he matches with somebody online.
Yeah.
But in this case, this is after 3 dates. Now, the reason I say do this after 3 dates is it sounds to me like things have gone a little bit flat. Not that it's a lost cause, but it's maybe not getting off the ground like you were hoping it would. And it may never do that. But the thing of it is after 3 dates, if you were funny, if you did make her laugh, if she did touch your arm, if she did give you some warm sign of interest, and I mean an actual warm sign of interest, not, oh, wow, she's pretty and she decided to meet me, not once, not twice, but thrice. No, I mean, you would have to actually see her body language. Does she lean towards you? Does she lean away from you? You know, certain things like this. Look, I could teach a whole course on this. We do not have the time tonight, I'm sorry to say. But you're going to need to be able to gauge that body language. See, you're going to have to be able to bottom line the actions. And by actions, I don't just mean whether or not she texts you back. I mean her actual posture when she's talking to you. Does she want to sit next to you? Would she rather sit across from you? Does she touch your arm? Does she laugh and, you know, and encourage playful banter when you crack a joke? And please tell me you're at least trying to make her laugh a little. Laughter is one of the most important things. And listen, if this doesn't pan out for you, I want you to remember one thing. Laughter is vital because laughter is a reaction like only a few that you can elicit from someone that they can maybe not necessarily fully control. Now, you know what other reactions you can get from a girl that she may not be able to fully control? And if you think for 1 second they don't associate the two, at least subconsciously, then remember that I didn't major in
Okay, but
psychology.
here's the thing. Okay, remember this. He's young. This is intermediate. If she's not already into you, being funny is not going to help. Okay, you're not going to be able to be funny and make her sexually attracted to you if she's not already sexually attracted to you. But if she's into you, that kind of playful, witty, back and forth banter, women eat that up. I'm telling you, they
Oh,
just love it
absolutely.
so much. But look, here's what you got to do. You have to send her a message, clearly setting up a date. And I keep
that's
your
it.
feelings out of it. It just about when and where you're going to meet. I would set the date up for her crib or yours. If you've been out there a couple times, then you need to invite her to your crib and use that as an indicator of her interest. If she's willing to drive 2 hours for you after you've done it for her, then she's reciprocating that energy you put in. That may be a good thing. Now, my next question would be, after 3 dates, nephew, please tell me you've kissed this woman. Please tell me you kissed her. Tell me you put your lips on her lips.
And remember,
So,
we're not saying the physical contact because somehow you deserve physical contact. What we're saying is, have you made her lips want to touch yours?
yeah. Oh, I'm smooth with it. I'll lean in close and talk to him. Let me stop. It's not about me. This is about our little
Come
nephew.
on, say it in your sexy voice, Uncle Bill. Let him have it.
Now, what I want him to do is set up a date with her, though. And I would like him to do it at his place and make her drive out to him. And this whole where this thing is going to go, nephew, you got to understand that her head may not be where your head is.
And I'm going to go ahead and say it probably is.
May just be a distraction to this woman. She may not be taking you serious, especially if you haven't turned her on after 3. I mean, come on, 3 dates, nephew. Don't most women give it up?
You know
after
what, though?
3 dates? Johnny, don't they have that 3-date rule where they go out with them 3 times and guess what you get to do now?
No,
So,
I don't know anything about that rule because when they're actually biologically attracted to you, their rules don't matter to them. They don't have them anymore. And look, that's understandable. We're mammals, man. It's called instinct.
well, at any rate,
Not saying
I
we're
think-
any better, so it's not like we show restraint.
here's the thing. He's already fallen for her. Okay. He's already under her influence. He's trying to reassure her that the distance won't be a problem. He's acting kind of feminine, if you really want to know the truth.
That's the part I was worried about. Yes.
Oh, you didn't think I would figure that out, huh?
Well, no, not that. I mean, as far as he goes, because here's the thing. Like you said, this is the very early preliminary portion of what so far isn't even a relationship yet, if it's ever going to be. Because if you're going to pour your heart out into a single text, it's not. In the old days, when you hand wrote a love letter with the the quill and the ink blotter, number one, it was a different time in American history or world history, really. And number two, there was a lot more thought and effort that had to go into that, not to mention how much paper probably cost back then. But the point is this: this is just a thing you type out on a screen, hit a button, and it shows up on her screen. Now, there's nothing wrong with pouring your heart out to it. But what you should be doing is making sure that you're just setting up the next time the two of you get together. Like Uncle Bill here said, you can describe all of those things and communicate what it is that you feel in person if you'd like. And if you need advice on that one, hey, message me again. But I don't think that a text message is the way to do it.
Okay, so here's the thing. that message you're going to send her, you might as well ball up a piece of paper and throw it at a wall for all the impact that it's going to have. It is not going to go the way you want it to go. You're actually going to probably make it worse on yourself. Like, if you send that message, she's probably not showing up for the next date. You're probably not even getting a response till the next day.
Right.
So, yeah. Delete the message, force an interaction between her. And if she doesn't want to drive out to see you, if she's not open to intimate cooking after 3 dates, then nephew, I got some bad news for you. You're just not the right guy for her. So accept it for what it is and move on. Because here's the good news. There are women out there who are into you. You just haven't met them yet. Okay. But keep watching us. Learn some standards and principles for your life. Learn a little bit of game going forward. And which, by the way, has nothing to do with women. And you young men get so confused on that when we start talking about how game doesn't have anything to do with women. So, and shout out to Steve the Dean Williams at themanmindset.com. Steve's always asking, does sleeping with a woman make you a man? The answer to that is no. So how can game be about women? So game is about yourself, the relationship you have with yourself, how you treat yourself, and what we're always talking about, self-discipline, self-respect, self-confidence, and just being the best version of yourself that you can be. Now, this woman may not appreciate you, and I got to tell you, driving 2 hours, you're kind of making it look like you're willing to do anything for her.
Well,
already.
now, to be fair, he doesn't say whether or not they meet in the middle or whether she comes there or he goes there. So that was just kind of an assumption on my part. So if that is the case, yes.
He has these feelings. I know he's driving.
See, that's why, that's why I assume that too.
Expose them. So, but hey, we'll give him the benefit of doubt because we love our nephews, and it's like I said, it's all love and respect here, and we want nothing but the best for you, and we appreciate you so much reaching out to us before you sent that message. We might have just saved this for you. You could still salvage this and turn it around. And I got a couple other messages you could send her too, because the thing is you need to have this woman smiling, laughing, blushing. Like, you need to be able to hear that smile when you're talking to her. And that's another reason I like to do audio messages with women, because I love it when they're playful back. Okay. When they get comfortable enough with you, because at first, a lot of women, Johnny, they don't like the sound of their own voice. So it takes them a little while. And hey, shout out to the women that immediately send me back audio messages. That tells me a lot about them, how confident they are. And I just love that. But my point is, when you're doing the audio messages back and forth, it hits harder than a text message, because you're hearing how somebody is saying what they're saying, how they're communicating it, not just like an AI type
like that
or a robot or something. All right, Johnny, what do you got for him? What's your final piece of advice on this for this young man?
I mean, I would say the most important thing is you're going to have to, just like everybody else, you're going to have to be able to understand the concept of working on yourself. In this particular case, I think that once you've adapted, once you've, what do I want to say, realize the kind of self-confidence that you should have in yourself, there's got to be something about yourself that you like. There's got to be something about yourself that you like so well that you want to accentuate it. Cultivate it, improve it every single day. And the thing of it is, that sounds like a lot about you focusing on you. But here's the thing you got to remember. If you focus on you, you become successful. You become successful because you develop principles, you develop patterns, you develop, processes along the way that if you continue to follow them, you'll become successful. You figure that out in business, you figure that out in your personal life, and you know what that becomes when you put all those things together? That becomes your program. And then you become the one who chooses she who fits your program. And if she doesn't, no hard feelings. Like Uncle Bill says, we wish her blessings along her journey. But the ones who do fit your program, you vetted them properly. You made sure that they're right for you. You made sure that they could at least help bring you forward rather than hold you still or, God forbid, bring you backward. But the point is, if you start from the start, you build your foundation, you finish the Johnny Dumbbell Get Off Your Ass challenge. But I want you to do that in other aspects of life too. And you know what? In other aspects of life, even I'm working on that. So there's a lot of things that you're going to want to make sure that you are doing on an everyday basis, on a consistent basis, that are building towards this right now vision that can become a reality, and that reality is you, if you want it.
All right, Johnny, we got to address some of these comments before we wrap this show up tonight. First of all, Stacy keeps co-signing all my points here. She says she drove 6+ hours for good D. So I love women like this. Shout out to you. And that's the thing. That's why I was asking earlier if he's even kissed her, because you got to know how to kiss a woman the right way. You can't just peck her on the cheek or peck her on her lips. You have to turn her on while you do it. It's got to lead to something else. So I don't want to get into that. That's not what this show is about. But there is a right way to kiss a woman and make her crave another kiss.
Like and subscribe Bill's channel for tongue flicking techniques, though.
All right. And then Brandy, we got here, says she met a guy, got good D, moved in 2 weeks later and was pregnant and had 2 kids. Okay, Brandy, I have so
I'm not
many
sure whether to
problems
congratulate
with
you or him.
I would never move a chicken after 2 weeks. I wouldn't move a chicken after 2 months. I probably wouldn't move a chicken after a year. It takes a year before I want to make her my girlfriend. I need to see her consistently for a year and see what this woman is made out of before I can make an educated decision on whether she is a good fit for my life or not. Until then, her and I are basically friends with benefits. So moving in with somebody after 2 weeks tells me, you know what, let me just shut up. Let me thank you for the comment. It's all love and respect here. I'm just saying, in my experience, I would because how do you even know somebody in 2 weeks? People can hold up a mask for several months at a time. And this is why we talk about vetting women for up to a year. And look, I've even seen that in my own life, man. I had a woman that I was vetting for several months recently crash out. And like I said, they can't keep it up indefinitely. And eventually the real them comes out. It just takes a long time for that to happen in some cases. And some people who have really been through the ringer, like Johnny Dumbbell, can shorten that by several months. But that's Johnny's thing. We're getting off track here. All right, Brandy says they did spend 6 years together. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys were compatible and you had some good years together. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Johnny, we're doing a Bumble show this week. We will be back Thursday night with my Bumble. I need a date for this weekend.
You do.
Hey, man, all I do is work and parent and work and podcast, and I need to go out on a date this weekend, Johnny.
All right, so listen, Brandy, Stacy, you heard him. We need you here on Thursday night because he doesn't listen to me anyway, so.
No, I don't. No, and so, yeah. And Jen, too, thank you for popping in tonight, too, Jen. Appreciate you, too.
Oh, yeah, Jen, we need you Thursday, too.
All right, Johnny, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I just want to thank everybody for watching. I really do appreciate your support. Like I said, it's all love and respect here, and we will see you Thursday night.
That's right, guys. Remember now, if you drink, don't drive, and if you drive, don't park, because accidents cause people. Good night.